Hi everyone, welcome back to the astrological series. So today we're looking into Scorpio, Sun, Venus, and Rising, and looking at your beauty, your appearance, and your style based on those specific placements. So this is going to be interesting because I definitely feel like there's a lot of beauty and I don't know, alluring energy to Scorpios. And I'm not saying to be beautiful or to be alluring you have to have Scorpio placements. No, of course not. But we're going to talk about it today, so that's going to be fun. But first, let's look a little into why we should look at someone's Sun, Venus, and ascendant / rising sign. So basically, your rising or your ascendant, it deals with your physical form, the physical form that you've been manifested into in this world, in this reality, in this life. So your rising sign does give a lot of representation to your physical looks, and at times also what we like to present to the world, you know. So there can also be elements of style and clothing involved in that too. When we look at Venus, it's the planet of beauty, the planet of creativity. And it's often that what makes us beautiful, but also the things that we find to be beautiful, whether that's in others because it deals with like romance and stuff. It also deals with the things we find beautiful aesthetically, creatively. So if you find something aesthetically, then that could increase the chances of us wanting to buy those certain things, and for example wear it when it comes to style. So that's something to look into. And your Sun is an energy that's also visible to the world. So if you have a Scorpio Sun, people can often tell that by you know, your character, but also you can have visible traits of Scorpio when your Sun is in that specific sign. All right, so now we're gonna look into your element. Scorpio, you're ruled by the element of water, so you're a water sign. I also feel like some Scorpios I know like to wear, I didn't necessarily want to say that, pendulums. Maybe if you have a spiritual connection, you like spiritual connection to like you're intuitive, you like spiritual practices, you might even want to at times wear that in your style. So at times you may like to wear crystals or other things, or rings, or something that may represent your connection to spirituality, or you may want to wear protective jewelry or something, because your Scorpios can also be a bit suspicious of everything. So maybe you're like, I always have to have my black tourmaline, because you never know who you can trust and who you can't. You never know when you need your protection. So another thing with Scorpios, let's take it one step further just for your element, and we'll get to the other things in a little bit. Your element is water, like I said, and I really like, personally, water signs. I like fluid clothing on water signs. So I like a ruffled dress or something that feels like it drapes off your skin. I really like that on water signs. Maybe that's just personal preference, but again, they could have things that represent their connection to their spirituality one in certain ways as well, because of them being so intuitive a lot of the times. But I also feel like tattoos is something that I've seen with Scorpio people, because Scorpio, I feel like there's almost an energy to Scorpios, maybe even more so than the other water signs, because of how your ruling planet is like Mars and Pluto, and those planets are quite sometimes a little bit more masculine than what people represent with the other water signs. So you have a softness to you, but you also have kind of this phoenix energy to you as well. So maybe wearing certain things that are a bit more edgy is something you wouldn't shy away from, because I've seen this be like a Scorpio can have a tougher exterior than their actual, soul can be really soft and loving. But they can definitely, in their style, at times want to have a little bit of a tougher exterior, or maybe they at times want to challenge the norm, or they may want to, give off a little like watch out or I'll bite type of energy. But it's really giving a lot of seductive sex appeal energy. But it's also, I sometimes feel like when Scorpios that I know do that, it's also because I do feel like and Cancers can have this as well, like they're actually very soft. So often when they do, allow their style to give off a little bit of this protective energy as well for themselves, like to wear a certain thing or to look a certain way, to sometimes can have them keep certain people at bay, yet can also draw people into them. Like they have this magnetism to do both of those things, is what I feel. Yeah. Okay, let's look at the obvious. Your color is obviously black. Scorpios, you do own the color black because you are represented by your ruling planet Pluto. That is the kind of the underworld energy. So black is your color. You earned that. And you're also represented by Mars. So again, like I like Scorpios in orange and red as well. And I really liked the dress that Kendall Jenner, she's Scorpio sun, she wore kind of like a V-neck dress at the Met Gala, and I thought orange looks amazing on her. And V-necks, I don't know if it's actually a V-neck dress, but to me it's the V-neck dress. And it represented to me kind of like the V-neck energy that Scorpio has. It's about rising from the ashes. And I liked that color orange on her so much. When we're looking at your body and what you represent, you do represent the eyes. You represent the eyes, and but you also represent a little bit more of the how would I say this? What's covered, like uncovering truths and revealing truths. And I also feel like that Plutonian energy where you might even at times be quite okay with more, showing more skin, or being a bit, what is the word? Challenging a little bit of those norms when it comes to that. Like you could really like, for example, lingerie and stuff. And I'm not saying that you have to be visible about that, but a lot of Scorpios that I do know, they don't mind a little bit of the taboo sometimes, where earth signs in general might be a bit more like covered up. Scorpios or certain fire signs can be maybe a bit more like revealing in a sense. Especially I think Scorpio, that naturally you do have a lot of appeal and magnetism to you. So I think a lot of Scorpios, their eyes are a big, how would I say this? They're a big part of their attraction. So they can have this sharpness in their eyes. But they can seduce with their eyes. They can see through people. So I always like a black eye liner and a black dark eye look for a Scorpio. Like Alexa Demi is one of the most well-known Scorpio rising representations with her iconic energy, of being alluring, of being seductive, of being a siren. And she often accentuates her dark eyes and kind of accentuate that feature. And people go crazy for it. People really like that about her. People find it to be very iconic. So Taylor Swift is another Scorpio rising. And I think Taylor Swift as well. Lately I watched her. I'm not like the craziest fan or something, but I just like her. So I watched her perform her performance on Netflix of her tour. And she has a Scorpio Mars and she has Scorpio rising. Again, her eyes, her looks, I feel like she has that sharpness too. I feel like she has that. And even some people would say she has a clumsiness as well, a little bit in the way that she dances, but it doesn't matter. She also has that magnetism by allowing herself to be out there, to I guess embrace her sexiness. And I love when a Scorpio person does that. I really love that because they have that. I really like her song Don't Blame Me, and I love her energy on that. I like when she wears the black and where she uses her eyes to look into the crowd, like she draws you in. Scorpio Sun, very, very well-known Kendall Jenner. Again, like you cannot really go past her Scorpio energy, right? She has this alluring energy. Scorpios, again, for their beauty, they don't need much because they have this natural energy, but accentuating the eyes is really a big power move. And again, any Scorpio in black just makes sense. I do feel like it makes sense. So yeah, Kendall Jenner, her favorite outfit for me is still her Phoenix outfit that I showed earlier on. But then again, when I think of Kendall Jenner's looks, her black looks to me are still most, suit her the best. And I like those. I like those on her as well. And then we have Pete Davidson. I know there's a lot of controversy about him, but there's something you cannot deny. He has so much Scorpio energy. I don't even know. I think he has Scorpio Sun, Venus, and something else. Wait, let me pull up his chart real quick because I just know he has like 3 or 4 Scorpio. Yeah, he has his Sun, his Venus, his Mercury, Pluto. He has so much Scorpio energy, and people, I do feel like Scorpio energy, maybe Aries energy too, they cause a lot of strong attraction and strong obsession, but equally strong hate. People can have like these intense, maybe sometimes even opposite reactions to people with a lot of Scorpio in them. And with Pete Davidson, everyone's like, how can he date certain women, right? He dated Kim Kardashian, he dated Ariana Grande, now he's dating Madeline Klein, all these beautiful women. And I think Scorpios naturally just have such an alluring energy, so he naturally maybe have been able to use that energy. But I also feel like the nice thing about Scorpio partners, when they're, healthy, like we can see it in Ryan Gosling as well, is that when they really like someone, they can put them on a pedestal. They can really give them that intense type of love. And that's another thing that's attractive about people, right? But even Pete Davidson in his style, wearing the black, wearing the hoodies, having the tattoos, I feel like that represents some Scorpio energy as well. Like the style and the look could kind of turn people away from him because he looks a little like all over the place sometimes. Yet there is something undeniably like charming that a lot of people feel drawn to, yet others kind of feel repelled by it. And then for men, we have Leonardo DiCaprio with a Scorpio sun. Well, there again, his eyes, especially when he was younger, like his Titanic era, there's an undeniable charm to him and his presence. And again, a lot of that was in his eyes, in the way that he presented himself, that drew people in. And then Scorpio Venus, we have Doja Cat with a Scorpio Venus. I think Doja Cat is such an interesting example because she as well is getting so much hate, especially lately, but she's been getting one of the most loved energy as well. Like, she has a lot of seductive energy. She goes into this energy of using that also kind of, I'm not saying that what she does is amazing. I don't know. Some people have strong opinions about that, but she does dive into her own dark sides and darker topics. And a lot of people, have these heavy, intense reactions to that. But I feel like it's Scorpionic to dive into those deeper, darker topics. And in her style as well, I really like her style. I really like that she embraces her body, that she shows it, and especially combined with her Libra energy, she makes it trendy, yet, yeah, she's undeniably, alluring for sure. But again, she can get these intense reactions from people. And then we have Jenna Ortega, another Scorpio Venus that kind of got a lot of representation also for her eyes and the acting in Wednesday. Even in Wednesday, it felt kind of Scorpionic, right? This person that wears all black and a lot of the expressions coming from the eyes. But even in some of her styles where she's wearing the black, it just is her color. A dark red lip is really nice with Scorpio energy as well. And I even like light brown on Scorpios a lot too. I really like that. She's wearing this light brown, gorgeous dress, yet that flowiness that I like for water signs. But a lot of her beauty she carries as well in her face and her appearance and her coolness in a sense too. But I also think that's funny because even when I watch Jenna Ortega in like, for example, some of her videos where she keeps a very like cool, calm demeanor, what a lot of Scorpios tend to do, I'm like, you're just a Scorpio, you're sensitive as hell, I know you are. I've met too many of you guys, stop acting cool. No, I'm just kidding. And then we have Ryan Gosling here as well, and I liked some of the styles that he wore. Like a band shirt is something cool on Scorpios, maybe a bit of a baggy, oversized. Yet, don't underestimate the business side of a Scorpio and how good they can look like in a suit, because they also have a loving, caring, romantic energy, but they're less willing to show that, and they're more willing to show a little bit more toughness than they are to show a very soft side. But no one can tell me that Scorpios don't have that. I don't fall for your tricks. So personal observations of Scorpios. Definitely met Scorpio rising men with tattoos who looked good in dark, like who looked good in that aesthetic of wearing black or being a bit more edgy. Scorpios, yeah, I have what I've been telling you guys, I have seen that as well. But sometimes I feel like Scorpios can also be, maybe what I'm explaining right now can also be a bit extremes. Like Scorpios can also just vibe a lot more natural and really like to go under the radar sometimes and not necessarily have to get all the attentions and looks on them in their appearance. Maybe sometimes they like to just be a lot less out there and maybe just wearing very comfortable clothes and kind of not expressing too much through their clothing. I think I've seen that with Scorpio energy as well. Yeah, where they use their magnetism, but sometimes it's a lot less out there. Like a Leo, it's like, look at me, and a Scorpio can sometimes be a bit more like, you'll look at me. But I don't have to do much for that. I don't have to go all out for that. So I've definitely seen that with Scorpio energy, that they carry it very naturally. definitely seen that as well. So guys, that's my interpretation of Scorpio, Sun, Venus, and Rising. I hope you guys enjoyed the video. Give it a thumbs up if you enjoyed it, and I'll see you in one of my other videos. Bye!